So Granny Mouse scurried straight to Tinker Tom to ask him for a shiny new cowbell. Tinker Tom, may I please have a shiny new cowbell for Brown Bessie? Asked Granny Mouse. I must fetch a happy storybook for Squeakins. I will give you a cowbell if you make me a glass of lemonade, said Tinker Tom. So Granny scurried off to Leafy Lemon Tree to ask for some lemons to make lemonade.
What you say?
Are you all set? I can't read the story upside down, baby. Leafy Lemon Tree, may I please have some lemons to make a glass of lemonade for Tinker Tom so he would give Brown Bessie a shiny new cowbell so that she will give fresh milk to Mean Mittens so I can pass? I must find a happy story to read to little Squeakins. I'll give you as many lemons as you like, said Leafy Lemon Tree, if you can find some water to sprinkle on me. So Granny Mouse stood in the middle of the yard and talked to the clouds. Puffy, fluffy clouds, may I please have some water to sprinkle on Leafy Lemon Tree so he would give me some lemons to make lemonade for Tinker Tom? Granny took a breath, so that Tinker Tom will give me a shiny new cowbell for Brown Bessie so that she will give me some milk for Mean Mittens so that I can pass? Because I must fetch the happiest of happy ending storybooks to read to little Squeakins. And the puffy, fluffy clouds answered Granny Mouse with a big boom. The clouds gave water, Leafy Lemon Tree gave lemons, Tinker Tom gave a cowbell, Brown Bessie gave milk, and Mean Mittens let Granny pass. Finally, Granny was able to fetch the happiest ending storybooks that she could find to read to her little Squeakins. By the time Granny Mouse got back, Squeakins was already asleep. What you doing?
No, a camel. A camel.
Aww. Jump. You love camel? More?
More. Oh, wait.
A baby is born. A baby is born at the top of a tree. A baby is born underneath the blue sea. A baby is born in the dewy green glen. A baby is born in a warm, cozy den. A baby is born in a bed of soft hay. A baby is born and then tucked away. In the deserts, on snowbanks, and under the seas, on mountains and valleys, and in tops of trees, all over the world, every night and each day, a baby is born, special in its own special way. Anyone wants to hear a story? The Quarrelsome Kittens. Two little kittens, one stormy night, began to quarrel, began to fight. One had a mouse, the other had none, and that's the way the quarrel had begun. I'll have that mouse, said the bigger cat. You'll have that mouse, we'll see about that. I will have that mouse, said the elder one, said the younger one, of course, after I'm done. I mentioned it was on a stormy night when these two kittens began to fight. Well, the old woman seized her bristly broom and swept those two kittens right out of the room. The ground was covered with frost and snow, and the two little kittens had nowhere to go. So they lay down on the mat at the door while the old woman finished sweeping the floor. Then they crept in, as quiet as mice, all wet with snow and as cold as ice, for they found it was better than that stormy night to lie down and sleep than to quarrel and fight. Aw, that's nice.
It's nice.
Nice. All done? More stories? Big Bunny Family. Benny Bunny lived with his Big Bunny family in a cozy home in the forest. The special thing about Benny's family is that he had more brothers and sisters than you can count on all of your fingers and all of your toes. Benny was the oldest. Benny felt crowded in his cozy forest home. No matter where he went, his brothers and sisters were always close by him. Some days Benny had to squeeze onto the sofa or even sit on the floor. Some nights he had to sleep on the very edge of the bed. There just isn't enough room for me, Benny sighed. Benny also felt tired of sharing. He always had to share his toys, even his favorite bouncy ball. Sometimes Benny also had to share his carrots at dinner. I never get to have anything for myself around here, grumbled Benny. Early one morning, Benny's littlest sister rolled over and pushed him out of bed. That's the last straw, Benny said. I'm going to go off on my own and find a new home. That day, Benny went to the kitchen to pack some carrots for the trip. As he worked, he thought about his new life. I will finally have some peace and quiet, Benny thought happily. I will have all the room I need. I won't have to share my toys, and I can have as many carrots as I want. On his way out, Benny picked up his favorite ball to bring along. Then he glanced around his cozy home one last time. His brothers and sisters were all busy hopping and talking and making a lot of noise. I'll bet they won't even notice I'm gone, Benny thought. Wait a minute. Then he set off alone, hopping down the bunny trail. Benny soon reached the other side of the forest. He came upon a lovely meadow where there were no other bunnies in sight. This will be perfect, he said to himself. He sat down and enjoyed some peace and quiet all on his own. Before long, Benny began to feel bored. He decided to play ball. He bounced his ball up and down. He tossed his ball in the air and caught it. At first, Benny thought this was wonderful. For the first time, he could remember there were no other bunnies to get in his way. But when Benny threw his ball, there was no one else to catch it. And when he kicked his ball, there was no one else there to chase after it. Finally, Benny put the ball away and decided it was time to eat dinner. Sitting down to eat alone, Benny arranged his carrots neatly. Finally, he could have all his carrots without sharing any. But then Benny realized there were too many carrots for him to eat all by himself. Seeing the uneaten carrots made Benny think about his brothers and sisters. He wondered if they were hungry. A tear fell from Benny's eyes. Benny missed his big bunny family. He missed his cozy home, he missed sharing his ball, and even missed sharing his carrots with his younger sisters and brothers. Benny decided that the empty meadow was not the home for him. He packed up all his things and set out along the bunny trail once more, this time in the direction of his crowded, cozy home. When Benny rounded the bend, he saw his entire big bunny family gathered outside. All of Benny's brothers and sisters came running towards him. Benny smiled. His big bunny family had noticed he was gone, and they missed him. They had all been very worried. Benny felt bad for making his family worried. I thought I wanted to live by myself, Benny explained, but I miss all of you so much. I promise I'll never go away on my own again. That night, Benny played ball with his brothers and sisters. He didn't mind squeezing into the sofa. He was even happy to share his carrots with his brothers and sisters. I love sharing this cozy home with my big bunny family, Benny decided. I think I'm the luckiest bunny in the whole wide world. The end.